Flare network is becoming the liquidity hub of crypto, folks. Check this out. Hugo Fillion hitting $100 million of XRP on Flare. This week was a good week. Big schedule for next week and off to NY for Ripple Swell next weekend, folks. So this is what we're talking about. When we talk about XRP, the liquidity or the value it is trying to move. And hitting $100 million USD of XRP obviously seems to be the case that Flare is trying to become that liquidity hub of crypto, folks. Not just XRP, when we talk about FDoge, when we talk about FBTC, Flare Network is trying to provide a use case to all of these projects. And this is mutually beneficial for both XRPL and Flare, according to Thanos over here. So check this out. Interesting name, by the way, if you're an Avengers fan. Okay. As users go in between XRPL, Flare, this drives transaction volume on both networks, not just one, folks. This is a win-win situation for both of these projects, and there is a reason for this, folks. Not just for XRP or for Flare. This is best for both. Even for marketing, both of these communities can learn about one another. Although XRP, obviously, people know about it a bit more. In terms of marketing, people will learn about Flare. And when it comes to providing a use case, I think XRPL can benefit a lot from this. XRPL smart accounts will encode hashes in the memo fields on the XRPL. Users will broadcast transactions on the XRPL with specific instructions. Users can use FXRP in associated dapps like DEXs, which drives trading of XRP. So this is obviously awesome. The XRP community can benefit from this. It is more than just about earning yield. Oftentimes, FXRP is LP'd on chain within dapps. Being able to borrow against your XRP is critical, and we are in the works on expanding FXRP to one of the largest DEXs in crypto, folks. Now, this is what we're talking about as Firelight and our other protocols come online. The focus is for Flare to help advance many of the Ripple institutional products, folks. Now, this is what we're talking about. Levels are being unlocked, and we're just getting started, folks. We are far away from the end point. Look at this: 100 billion XRP bridged onto Flare. DeFi TVL $265.0 million. The stablecoin market cap $147.9 million. Okay. F assets TVL by chain, folks, $123.8 million. And if we look at the Flare, it is $23.1 million. And XRPL $100.7 million, folks. Now this is what we're talking about, and this TVL, folks, it is up 40% since September 24. Obviously, this is great for XRP, for Flare. FXRP, a productive week indeed. Flare account went live, cap raised to 50 million XRP total, and I think 100 over here right now, $100 million. Okay, Flare Network DeFi tab went live, sharing FXRP paths to yield and XRP-Fi diaries. Awesome, folks. xrpfi.flare.network/DeFi. Folks, as far as the use case is concerned, the workshops are concerned, you should look into Flare Network because they are always active, folks. Now, look at this. The Flare Builder Online Workshops, Session 14, Flare Protocols Overview. So this is a bit long, almost 1 hour plus or 1 hour. So do check it out, folks. Let's now look at a small piece of this to see what we can learn from this.
So an FDC directly into our core protocol into the chain, Flare provides every data source with a complete economic security across the entire network. And this is fundamentally different from other infrastructure. But like I mentioned before, this is not like the only thing that matters. What I would say matters the most is what are the types of solutions that I can create if I have this very reliable infrastructure that essentially would allow you to gather information from many places, right? So first we have the Flare time series oracles. The first thing that I want to highlight is that this is for probabilistic data such as prices, weather, etc. Of course, people use the most widely adopted solution is going to be price feed for obvious reasons. If you are doing anything on DeFi, you will need to know what is the value of a certain token with respect to, I don't know, USDC or with respect to Flare, whatever. So you will be relying on this. We do have block latency prices, so these are very fast updates, and we have delta updates implemented with this, meaning that there are incremental updates taking place. And this makes that the whole system is essentially very fast when it comes to updates. But not only that, we also want to create something that is very scalable, right? Because at the end of the day, you will not have one price feed, you will have multiple price feeds, and you will need to have a model that would allow you to have hundreds of different price feeds without congesting anything. And for that, we have certain algorithms that we have implemented. I'm going to share some of these on the Dev Hub once we start checking out the documentation for the details. But essentially, the important point is that we have created a sufficiently, what I would call sufficiently decentralized network with validators that are also price providers in this case, and they're helping validate this information. And so this is a very robust decentralized network that is part of Flare, in which you also have the support for block producing and validating data and all that. And again, if you are thinking about what are the types of price feeds that you can implement, of course, we do have ones already ready for you to utilize. But however, if you want to contribute to the network and you want to help have any sort of custom feed, of course, this is something that is possible with our infrastructure. And there is a dedicated workshop here by one of my colleagues, Anthony, that did an amazing job in teaching how you can implement this and what is the process, how does it look like. Okay, let's talk now about probably my favorite protocol, which is the third data connector. In very simple terms, what this will allow you is to validate external data to Flare's EVM state. And we have here, if you think about what are the kinds of operations and things that I can validate, there is a bunch of things that are specified in our documentation, which I put here on the slide with the specific name, so that if you want to call it on a contract or whatever, you can just call that directly. I'm going to show you how, so don't worry. We have address validity to validate the format of certain addresses on specific chains that are supported. We also can see some of the EVM transaction information that we will call this FDC to verify and retrieve transaction details from EVM compatible chains. Think about Ethereum, of course, Flare, and of course, Sunpay. We have something called JSON API, which now we call Web2JSON, which is a very interesting tool because it fetches and processes any, in principle, Web2 data using a JQ transformation and then returns an ABI encoded output. Today, we are actually going to explore this in a very, I would say, straightforward way by running a script, but it's just to show you the flow. And the flow is something that you can see on the right side of the screen, in which we're going to take, a silly example with the StarWest API, and then we're going to apply some JQ processing rules to extract some data from some characters. Then we will have a proof generation, a cryptographic proof, and then this will trigger also on the flow, we will trigger a contract deployment that will create a list with information about these characters. And, there will be data that once it is verified from this Web2 API that we're going to add, so that by the end of the day, you will perform an on-chain calculation to compute a new parameter for this character and add it to the list, right? And that is going to be recorded on the blockchain, of course. And of course, we do have other things that are interesting for payments, confirm and fetch payment transaction details from non-EVM chains. This is something that we're going to discuss a little bit in the next slide, probably about F assets and how this all works. And we have other information that are relevant for payments. We're going to see this on the documentation within a few minutes. I think that for now we can switch to something that I know that a lot of people ask about how does it work, what are the main components.
Check this out, folks. Bring assets from non-smart contracts chains to Flare. A user selects an agent and pays a fee to reserve collateral. The user sends the underlying asset, for example XRP, to the agent. The Flare data connector verifies the transaction. The equivalent F assets, example FXRP, or in the future any other equivalent F asset, are minted as ERC20 tokens on Flare, folks. So Flare is doing so many things at the same time, being a layer one, enshrined oracles, data connector, so many things happening over here, folks. So a unique prospect in the world of not just crypto, but the entire world of finance, folks. So yeah, let me show you something else as well. Yeah, just a moment. Yeah, F assets and Flare smart accounts. So look at this. The FSA allow XRPL users to perform actions on the Flare through instructions on the XRPL. Payment to an XRPL address designated by the operator plus backend monitoring incoming transactions and interacting with Flare. So basically, folks, uh, what Flare is trying to do is it is trying to create an infrastructure for the world of finance for sure, folks. Not just it wants to bridge between the legacy world and the blockchain world. That is one part of it, but it wants to connect various blockchains as well in the meantime. So this is really awesome. The payment must transfer sufficient funds as specified by the operator and must include the proper payment receipt. Awesome, folks. This is really, really great. I really like what Flare as a whole is doing, and you all know I'm a huge fan of what Flare stands for, the team, and what it is doing. As far as a Wik is concerned, look at this, folks. Isn't it a thing of beauty? I do not know what the price is at the moment, but I really like Wiks like these. Yeah, it shows us that someone has bought, and then again, people have sold it. But in the very long haul, folks, if someone is looking at the bigger picture, Flare has the X factor. It has something special written all over it. Something special for sure, folks. So yeah, and who knows what is happening behind the scenes at the moment? Maybe the insiders know, but we do not know. Anyways, to each their own, you have to do your own research. A crypto is as good as its protocol. If the protocol finds an application that makes sense, utility wants to win. Best protocols, in my opinion, Flare, Data, and DeFi, and XRP payment. And this is an amalgamation, a combination of both the worlds, both of them trying to achieve something special in this world. Look at this. JP Morgan to allow crypto as collateral. So liquidity is everything, and Flare Network is trying to become a liquidity hub in the world of crypto, folks. And not just that, in the world of finance, maybe somewhere down the line. Someone said that only F assets won't be enough, but folks, it will go way beyond that. I've seen people say that Flare isn't anything as special as people say that because it is doing nothing unique, and I saw some comments like that. But folks, Hugo himself said that F assets is a very, very small point of what they want to achieve in the long haul. They want to achieve something big. They want to achieve something splendid for the foreseeable future and beyond. And this amalgamation, this combination between these various assets, it has success written all over it. A win-win situation if you look at it. We're seeing some developments in Africa as well. If you look at Africa, Africa has been huge when it comes to digital assets. It is huge in the world of finance, and it is huge when it comes to the adoption of this new technology. As you all know, we've seen Nigeria being really pro digital asset, pro crypto. We've seen South Africa being pro crypto, and from the looks of it over here, folks, we're seeing that. Look at this: Blockchain Association of Uganda, Ethereum Foundation, Chainlink Base, yeah, so Africa DAO, Celo. So much happening. Look at this. And their cultural center, Kampala, Uganda, community partner, Flair Africa. So Flair is trying to expand to Africa as well. Flair, as you all know, is global. Flair is indeed universal, and it wants to achieve greatness, folks. That's for sure. Yeah, the global greatness. That's for sure. This is where the title of the idea of the title comes from. Global greatness, folks, and I think that it has the potential to achieve that in the long haul. Yeah. Look at this. We're building the XRP-Fi playbook together. Share your FXRP strategy. Okay. You can check this out. Flare always has something unique, some good tutorials and everything. This is great. Question: Need help now? I have 1,307 XRP. Should I mint 1,300 FXRP on Flare to participate in DeFi? Leaving 7 XRP saved in my cold wallets. Who has replied? I can stake your XRP in a guaranteed. Okay, what is this? Probably safer than your plan. I'd suggest allocating a portion of your holdings whilst risk may be minimal. Okay, you should lend XRP out on the loan protocol. By the way, we cover loan and the Metallicus ecosystem as well. So this is sort of that combination of two projects that we cover. You can check out loan as well. Look at this: the core technology behind Metal XApp lending, empowering lenders and borrowers on the XPR network since 2022. So, folks, what do you guys think about Flare Network? Do you think that it has the potential to achieve global greatness in the world of finance? I would really like your opinions. Do hit the comment box below and let the community know. Anyways, guys, this was it for the video. If you liked it, make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification icon if you're interested in utility coins and potential gems. And you can also subscribe to the channel by checking out Patreon by following the link in the description box below. Until next time, stay blessed and stay tuned. Thank you very much, everyone.